The night was colder than it should have been. A kind of cold that doesn't just bite the skin, but seeps inward, settling deep into bone and memory. Snow fell in thick, silent sheets, smothering the world beneath a blanket of white so complete it erased direction, erased distance, erased sound. The road was empty. And then, headlights cut through the dark. The car slowed. Tires crunched against ice. A door opened, and a dog stepped out. He was large ones, proud ones. His golden retriever coat had once shimmered in sunlight, but now it hung dull and tangled, clumped with old snow and neglect. His breath puffed in fast, nervous bursts as he looked back toward the open car door. He wagged his tail, because dogs always wag when they believe something good is about to happen. The leash was unclipped. "Go on," a voice said. Not cruel, not kind, just done. The door slammed, the engine roared, and the car drove away. Red taillights vanished into the falling snow, swallowed by trees and distance and indifference. The dog stood still, one paw lifted, waiting, because dogs always wait. The silence that followed was unbearable, and somewhere deep inside his chest, beneath instinct, beneath loyalty, something cracked. Once the world had been warm. Once the dog had a name. Oliver. He remembered it the way one remembers a song half forgotten. Familiar, comforting, just out of reach. He remembered a living room glowing with Christmas lights, a tree taller than he was, glittering with ornaments and tinsel, wrapping paper scattered everywhere, a child's laughter ringing out, bright and excited. "Oliver, look at him!" Hands reaching for him, too many hands, too much noise, but he didn't mind. He had belonged then. He had been a gift. Golden puppies always were. Back then his fur was brushed, his bowl was always full, his world smelled like soap and pine and warm bread. Back then he believed love was permanent. But time changes things. The child grew older, the laughter faded, the walks became shorter, then stopped. Oliver learned the sound of irritation, learned how to make himself smaller, learned to lie still and quiet when voices rose sharp and fast. He learned that love could grow thin. And when winter returned, colder, harsher, Oliver's place in the home grew smaller still. Until one night, the leash came out, and Oliver wagged his tail. Now, standing alone on a frozen road, Oliver didn't understand. He turned in slow circles, nose to the ground, sniffing desperately for the scent of his people. Snowflakes clung to his whiskers. Wind cut through his thinning coat. He whimpered. Once. Then he started walking. The cold bit at his paws. Each step sent stabs of pain up his legs. But standing still was worse. Standing still meant surrendering to the cold whispering at the edges of his thoughts. Lie down. Just rest. It will be easier. Instinct pushed him forward. The forest loomed dark and dense. He veered towards it, seeking shelter from the wind. Branches clawed at his sides as he pushed through. Snow piled onto his back. Hours passed. Or minutes. Time blurred. Hunger gnawed. Thirst burned. Exhaustion dragged at him like a weight tied to his ribs. Oliver curled beneath a fallen pine, shivering violently. His breath slowed. The cold pressed closer, and sleep crept in. Dangerous. Seductive. On the second night, something stirred him awake. A scent. Food. Weak, but real. It pulled him forward like a thread tied to survival. He followed it out of the trees, legs shaking, vision blurred. That was when he saw the house. Small, lonely, wrapped in soft blue Christmas lights. Warmth radiated from its windows. Oliver froze. Homes meant people. People meant pain. But hunger overpowered fear. He crept closer. On the porch, half frozen into the snow, lay a crust of bread. Oliver devoured it, teeth chattering. The door opened. Light spilled out. A woman stepped onto the porch and stopped short. "Oh my God." Her voice broke. Oliver bolted, slipped, collapsed hard onto the ice. Pain tore through his shoulder. He yelped. The woman rushed toward him, kneeling carefully. Easy, easy. She smelled like cinnamon, like wool, like warmth. She reached out. Oliver flinched, but didn't move. Her hand rested on his head, and for the first time since the car drove away, the cold loosened its grip. Her name was Clara. She wrapped Oliver in a blanket and carried him inside, murmuring softly the entire time, as though afraid silence might scare him away. The house was warm, painfully warm. Oliver whimpered as feeling rushed back into his frozen body. He drank water greedily, ate slowly this time, testing, waiting for it to disappear. It didn't. Clara watched him with tears shining in her eyes. "Who left you out there?" she whispered. Oliver slept, deeply, dreamlessly, and when he woke, sunlight streamed through the window. Fear flooded him instantly. Daylight meant leaving. It always had. Oliver tried to stand. Pain dropped him back to the floor. Clara was at his side instantly. "No, sweetheart, you're hurt." She called the vet. Another stranger came. Gentle hands examined him. "He's lucky," the vet said. "Another night." The words trailed off. Clara nodded, jaw tight. "He's staying, however long he needs." Oliver didn't understand the words, but he understood the promise. Days passed. Snow piled higher. Christmas drew closer. Oliver healed slowly. His shoulder improved. His coat softened under Clara's careful brushing. His bowl stayed full. But trust lagged behind. Sudden noises made him jump. Raised voices froze him in place. He slept lightly, ears twitching at every sound. Clara never rushed him. She sat on the floor and read aloud. She let him come to her. She said his name gently, often. Oliver. Each time it warmed something inside him, like reclaiming a piece of himself. The storm arrived on Christmas Eve. Wind screamed, snow battered the windows. The world outside disappeared beneath white chaos. Oliver trembled. Clara lay beside him on the floor, one hand resting on his back. "I won't leave," she whispered. And she didn't. Morning came quietly. Sunlight glittered off untouched snow. Oliver stretched. His shoulder barely hurt now. He padded into the living room. Clara smiled through tears. "Merry Christmas, Oliver." She wrapped her arms around him. This time, he leaned in. Outside, the world sparkled. Inside, a dog who had been left to die learned what home truly meant. Spring came. Oliver ran again. He slept in sunbeams. He waited at the door every evening. He trusted. When winter returned, Oliver watched snow fall from a warm window. He was safe, he was loved, he was home. Forever.